Good evening, everyone, and welcome back, after a long pause, apparently, to another episode of Alterra, headquarters of the Mad Capitalist. Yeah! Hey, yeah, we're back. I'm your host and games master for the evening, James Robertson, and joining me this evening, the master of the arcane, Bane playing Pizzazz, the gnome wizard.
Howdy.
The defender of the natural world, Bob plays as Lanwar, the Firbolg druid.
Hello.
The Arrow of Fate, Neil is Dion, the half-orc ranger.
Hello.
And the Hand of God, no, the Fist of Dragon. Yes, it's TR playing as Glack, the kobold cleric.
Hello.
Previously, the party awoke in the Last Hope Inn and prepared to end the threat of the necrotizing darkness. Remember that? So long ago? They beseeched Kentril, the grizzled adventurer, to come with them to a place he called the Heart of Darkness, an ancient place full of evil, to defeat their foes. After navigating the terrible forest, eventually they arrived at Willow's New Grove, where the darkness was originating from a corrupted tree of some kind, and in the centre of which was lodged a great dark heart that seemed to control the entirety of the necrotic system of vein-like roots. After much back and forth, in a drawn-out fight with a loss of life was only a single second away for any of the fighters, the party stood triumphant, Lanwar plucking Willow's staff and crown, and Glack finding a small clockwork dragon, formerly belonging to Junkrat, in the ruins of the tree. An automated message and instructions came from it, and the party presented the loot which they had received throughout their adventures this past year, and were transported back to view a few snippets of the truth that Willow had been ordering, coercing, and otherwise manipulating Junkrat into helping her find a weapon to end the Fey War before they were teleported, brought before Junkrat himself, who looked much older, more strained, and very tired. He promised answers and bade the party sit and ask anything which they would wish to know of him. And that's where we pick up today. With the four of you having arrived, Junkrat manipulated the scene of just endless blackness and zeros and ones and green lettering covering the walls. There's a wall of screens, some of which are sort of blacked out, some of which have sort of reddened slightly. But he's manipulated the world and created somewhere that looks familiar to you. Adventurer's Retreat Tavern. A table has sprung into place, and all around you, figures, including a draconic-looking figure behind the bar, wiping glasses as usual and setting up. There are a few adventurers who you vaguely know. You've never spoken to them, but just are vaguely aware of them having been present at various times when you've been in the tavern. Junkrat himself has manipulated how he looks, and so he looks back to his old self, the way you remember him. Sit down, friends.
All right, fair enough.
Well, yes, yeah, I think that fight took a lot out of me, so yes, I'll be glad of a seat, but I don't think I quite understand what's gone on entirely, and how we're here. So my first question is, where exactly are we? Because I know this isn't where it's supposed to be.
You're exactly where you were before, actually. I sort of chose this place because the truth is a difficult thing. The truth is, well, you must have guessed by
James,
now.
Yeah. Oh, you roboted up there.
Yeah, the truth is a difficult thing to think of.
Yes.
But you're exactly where you are. You must recognize this place anyway.
Well, I recognize this place, but I still don't quite get what's going on, considering I've looked through my memories and found my death by...
Yeah, that, I kind of had to show you that when it was time.
We're not us, are we?
Well, in a way, you are.
Okay,
And-
we're not the originals.
Well, not the you that you're aware of, no. But your original selves are, let's be honest, all of us blew up in an explosion at one point or another, so we're not technically our original selves, you know what I mean?
But
I mean,
Speak for yourself. I'm still here.
That's just semantics, Junkrat.
the important thing is
and what
you
do mean?
believed that it was you the entire time.
Mm-hmm. I get
That was what I was experimenting with.
I get what Brightsight does. He reconstitutes us from the soul crystal, but
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah. This is more... how best to explain? Let me take you back. And suddenly the tavern dematerializes, and you're suddenly back looking and sort of wandering around a battlefield which you recognize quite strongly. There are a couple of demonoid monk-looking guys all over the place. And it's sort of frozen. The action is sort of frozen in mid-combat. Junkrat having just pulled a ripcord on a giant tire. Giant exploding, like packed with explosives looking tire, made of metal and scrap and all sorts. Everyone else, you're looking around at the scene, and you're on the sort of back foot here. You might remember this. It's one of the last missions we went on back when we were all a member of Adventurers Retreat before we had our sabbatical, yeah?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yes.
And we won the fight. You might remember. And as you watch, he sort of concentrates, and it begins to sort of ding 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 flick forward like a TV show or a movie going in fast forward gear, and you see yourselves eventually rallying, Junkrat's thing exploding, all these creatures being driven back, and all of you pretty much just collapsing exhausted onto the ground. This is where your memories differ. What you remember next is we rescued Kremlin and the members of the fine fellows of Daggerford, and we went back to Adventurers Retreat, and we took a year off. That's what you remember, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, well, what actually happened is this. And he concentrates for a second, and the action plays back, and you're suddenly all watching yourselves conversing and sort of congratulating each other about the fight, tending to your wounds. When suddenly doors at either end of the corridor, which before were locked and barred, slide open sci-fi style, and walking through them, 6 on either side, tall, gaunt, purplish-skinned figures in high, white-collared robes. A couple of them are holding weapons, which you recognize as some sort of pulsar cannons. A few of them are holding medical equipment, syringes, that sort of thing. And they quickly begin to surround you. And as you take up your battle stances, ready to fight what you know to be mind flayers, all of you feel concentrated psionic blasts. And though a couple of you manage to dodge out of the way of a few of them and hold your own, you are just beaten up from that previous fight and very quickly are overwhelmed by the mind flayers. And you all drop unconscious. So that's what actually happened.
So far, that's what I've pieced together as well, yeah.
And Junkrat sort of takes you forward, so you're looking at skipping sort of scenes of what happens after that fact in a spaceship, maybe some sort of lab. You can't tell, but it looks like almost security camera grainy footage of the 5 of you being put in pods, and sort of almost nursed back to health. You see all of you being operated on, and all of you having something inserted into your ear. That was where they got the whatchamacallums, the earworms. We still have those inside us, so good luck with that when eventually you work those out. But this wasn't the end. All the stuff you saw actually didn't happen till much later. And he sort of takes you to another scene where you're all standing before this about 8 foot tall mind flayer who looks almost like bits of him are jutting out at odd angles. There's a shoulder up by an ear, or where an ear would be. It looks almost like the crooked man type situation, leaning heavily on a large twisted staff, which is topped by a skull of what looks to be some sort of human. This guy, Extrematron, he's he sort of controlled us for a while and sent us on missions.
But what? How? When?
Using the worms they implanted in our ears. And then you see visions of yourselves flash through your minds of each of you on the missions. And they're familiar because you've been on those self-same missions. They are working your way through a maze, confronting a demonoid half-orc, winding your way through a beholder crime boss's lair, diving into a back alley, looking ooze matrix, before working your way through an ancient haunted house and lab, and then finally on a journey through disparity. So here's where it gets kind of complicated. We all went on these missions for the Illithids because they needed the combined total of the experience or something. I haven't worked that out yet fully, and there's no time now to work it out, sadly. If I had 100 years, another 100 years, I might, but no, I don't. I don't know why they needed that in particular. I know that they needed our combined experience, but it was getting too costly. People, by which I mean we, kept dying, and it was getting expensive for the Illithids to get high-level, high-powered adventurers, we were the ultimate team. They needed us specifically for our skills, for our combined experiences, for our combined wants and needs and desires. We were to them the complete package, as it were. Brains, beauty, and glances at Glack. Faith, I guess. Fists, looks at Lanwar.
What has beauty?
Huh?
I thought I was beauty.
You can be multiple things.
That is
Yeah.
true. Brains as well. Gotcha.
Yeah. Looks at Pizzazz. Yeah. Glack
Yeah.
is brains too. Anyway. Sad to say, we all kept dying on these missions, or getting very close to death, and the cost of bandaging us up was a lot higher than it was to make clones or to make a virtual reality scape. But by the time we'd finished in Disparity, they had gotten pretty much the base model of what they needed. And then they put us in these machines. And flashing around, you can see what you've all experienced. Yet more grainy footage of yourselves being loaded into these ooze matrices. Dion, you recognize pictures of yourself waking up. And you recognize that because you experienced that, I think it was in the maze, right?
Yeah.
And Pizzazz, you recognize images of yourself fully waking up. And you recognize that as a part of your memory on your journey from when you were in Kwalish's underground lair, when you touched your own ooze matrix pod. It doesn't really make sense that your ooze matrix pod was in the memory, but somehow Junkrat is conveying better than I can that essentially this is where you've all been for however long it's been.
But
so they ran the simulations.
wait,
And yeah, Lanvor.
we were in. But I went when we were in the one saving. Damn it. When we were in one of those matrix and we saved people, and I controlled it, but
you did control it.
Then how can I feel this one and control this one? It's dreams like any other thing I've and I'm just gonna be sitting there holding my head going,
From what I can tell, it's not a dream per se. It's not memories. It's your consciousness. You kind of.
In fact, Lanwar, you were so close to discovering it back when you were in Buttercup's lair. You realized that dream manipulation in the ooze matrices could happen. You were so close. You were able to manipulate things after that. How do you think that I have been able to do this the entire time? I've been able to manipulate things. And you were able to do that after the fact. You were able to bring out the button that you found in Bragg's ooze matrix, the back alley ooze matrix, that the Elithids wanted a connection to. You see? You were so close.
Pizzazz reaches into his pocket and pulls out the button. Goes, I forgot about this.
You see? You brought that using the power of your own memory, your own imagination. The Elithids couldn't control that. in the outside world. You brought it into being, into the one that we're in now, the reality we're in now, through force of memory, through force of will, through force of mind.
We are.
You were able to control it the entire time.
I have
You just didn't know it.
a vague feeling we're missing something as well. Someone?
So the whole what about all the memories of you killing clones of Lanir?
Yeah.
Was that
Yes.
before or after?
That was inside the machine.
Insight check.
Okay, yeah.
Oh fuck! I've not got
The
the
character
right
sheet
character
open?
sheet up. Yeah.
That's all right. Just gonna
Well, I
bring
had
it.
a character sheet. I didn't have the right one.
That's all right.
My passive
Gives me a
Pizzazz.
break from speaking for a sec.
Right. What am I doing? Inside. Not the greatest, but oh come on.
Oh.
I think I'll be doing it as well because it is
Oh.
Yeah. Lan is hearing this question is definitely paying
Yeah.
attention.
So Pizzazz, you think he's telling the truth. Lanwar, you've never seen Junkrat act more truthful. This happened inside the Ooze Matrix, and he still feels conflicted about it. All that stuff you talked about the nature of body and soul and mind, he seems to have taken it to heart and believes, or believed at one point, that he was killing actual people. Maybe not you guys, but because you talked at length about how once you created one of your tree clones and set it on its path, it became its own person. But just because they weren't friends of his didn't make the fact that he was basically murdering people any less potent in his mind. He still seems to carry some weight of guilt. I will give you that with a crit 20.
So
He's having a hard time, especially looking you in the eye.
okay.
But there is no malice nor lies in Junkrat's eyes.
We're in the Matrix,
We are in the Matrix.
and the point that you ended me was in the Matrix. Yes, I understand how I see it in your eyes that you're conflicted, but if we're in the Anu's Matrix, that wasn't me that you killed.
I know, that
No.
thinking made it easier.
Plus, the reason that you can probably remember it is because it was still your consciousness.
Well, actually, by all accounts, the Elithids are able to manipulate the Ooze Matrices. That's another thing. Every time, and this is the thing that's going to be a little bit difficult to understand. Every time we completed our mission well, we never got to the end of the disparity, but every time we got to the end or a place where everyone had died, they used their own little button and sort of reset us.
That might
So
explain
all
why.
the memories you have should be blocked from each other, but I just broke down the barriers between those memories so you could remember everything. It's taken me some time, and it wasn't easy disguising it from the Elithids. But I think I managed it for the most part until recently.
That's going to be my next question.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
100 loops.
And how long is a loop?
Give or take a few months, a year.
Okay. How many times have we had this conversation?
This is the first.
Okay.
I have been in here for a long time, waiting for you guys. And this is the first time. It's a lot of numbers and sequences, but you had to all survive in a certain combination. And Dion, I'm sorry that you had to die to Kwalish, but that was the only way that I could get Landwar to survive. The only way he would understand the value of living against Willow. Every other time you survived, or some combination, or whatever, but it's like a 4-digit code basically, and the digits are the number of times you guys died. I'm sorry, but that's yeah. Yeah.
Dion just squints his eyes at Junkrat.
He doesn't meet your gaze at that point.
What's my number?
As you
said-
ask this, you sort of take note and you sort of scan around the room as if expecting to see it. And the screens are still there on the sort of back wall. You are still also sort of sitting in Adventurer's Retreat, but there's still one wall that has got like a series of about 100 screens. And you see many of them are sort of grayed out. A couple of them are flashing blue, a couple of them are flashing red. But they all seem to be set in quadrants. They're about 50, 60 feet away. You can go have a look at them if you want. They are the only sort of distinguishing feature of the room, aside from the only thing that seems to be real aside from Junkrat and you guys.
Yeah, Rat's gonna go take a look.
All right.
Yeah, so is Dion.
Yeah, it's that wall over there, pretty much behind the bar area. Yeah, you can, as you sort of move across there, Junkrat doesn't stop you. He just sort of watches you go sadly and then turns back to Pizzazz and Lanmore.
I have another question.
I'm sure you have many of them.
Who is Leon? And why do I remember him?
Junkrat, with your 31 insight, he looks partially confused, partially distasteful. Leon is a virus. Like a computer bug. I think he is nothing.
Is he someone that you created or just a byproduct?
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I created him. I tried to purge the forest. That would, that the flashing in the forest when you were in disparity, that was me trying to purge the machine of him, of the virus, before it could infect your minds. I think, anyway, that's...
What if he's meant to be there?
He is not meant to be there. I would remember him.
No. You say this is a computer or a simulation, simulacrum, whatever. What if someone outside has put him in?
Someone. There isn't anyone outside except for the mind flayers.
What if they've blocked that memory from you too?
That's not possible. I'm not bound by memories anymore.
No, I'm saying, what if the Mind Flayers, do they work for Brightside?
No, they have another goal in mind. I've been trying to break through the firewall, and only recently have I gotten anywhere close.
Right. So
And
what if they don't work for Brightside? What if Leon was created by Brightside?
I don't think that can't be right. Brightside doesn't know anything. I'm in. Well, okay, you guys, laugh at the kobold.
No, I'm
No,
laughing
it's more
at your naivety.
it's more that you don't think that Brightside knows.
Right
Of
side
course
is...
he doesn't know about this. He would have shut it down by now if he knew.
No, he wouldn't. He would be looking at it as a new business opportunity and seeing what he could steal from it or make it his own. You've seen what he has gagged us for not doing.
Junkrat looks like he's considering that. And while he does, with your 22 and 20 in per investigation, rather, you look around on this wall of 100 screens, you do see in many of them, actually all of them, in fact, are bound into quadrants, like sort of like window style, like child's drawing window style quadrants, except for the first one, which is in like fives, which is almost entirely red. You see most of the quadrants. The top left is like a bluish sort of color or a grayish color. But many more of the quadrants are red. And as you quickly sort of flick through them, look through them all, you see Glack having died various times. You see variously images of yourself being disintegrated by Kwalish or by Buttercup. You see one occasion you were decapitated by Nega Bragg, Super Soldier Bragg. And even twice you were destroyed by Willow in Disparity. I have the numbers here exactly. Hold on. Glack, you have your red screen's number 29.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Out of 100 looks.
29 out of 100. Hey, Dion, can you see any screens where it's me beating Lanoir to death for coming in my dreams?
I heard that.
You were meant to, pervert.
Dion, you see your red screen's number 69.
Nice.
Little Easter egg there. In many of them, you were destroyed by Zaraj the Hunter. But you do actually recognize on this most recent one, the final one, you see yourself being sort of shot by Kwalish with like a knife of icy blackness. And as you sort of you remember that one.
Single tear runs down Dion's cheek. That wound will never really heal.
I mean, it was digital.
Yeah. Still hurts.
But Junkrat, I believe Brightside might be here, and maybe have inserted an agent, or at least be trying to get somewhere inkling to this. He created a god to try and control the weave.
That's what these guys are trying to do as well. I mentioned the firewall. I only recently got through it. I'm one with the machine now. I understand it, and it understands me, and well, that's the only way I brought you here. I was able to bring you here, rather.
Okay.
You, basically, you remember the crack in the wall of Willowwood, Landor?
Yes.
Well, it turns out the Illithids were, the memories that you remember are of my original attempt at breaking through the wall. The Illithids are after that same technology, the copper piping, with wires made of various arcanites inside it. They're looking to punch a hole through the copper ring and bring one of their own deities to Sigil.
Okay.
Which is where this is me giving. This is me doing my quest giver voice now. I can't. I can't do it myself. I can't stop them myself. But you guys have to.
Hold, Junkrat. You say that Mr. Brightside's not going to have be getting into here. You have just explained one of the reasons why he would be in here. Why would he let someone else take control? He would not.
I don't think Brightside's in here. I think he's fucking with them.
Yes.
If he does know, he hasn't made himself known.
Why would he?
What do you think Leon is?
A virus.
Are you sure?
But no. There are some parts of the secret Illithid firewall that even I can't break down.
Did he feel like code, or did he feel like us? Is he not another? He could well be another connection into the ooze matrix that the Illithids don't know about.
It must be a different system then. I couldn't touch him. I couldn't interact with his memories.
He may have been a prototype.
Of what, though?
Well, if it was easy enough for you to get into it and get a hold of it, do you not think it'd be easy for the Illithids to know about it?
He visibly laughs and shakes his head. It wasn't exactly what you'd call easy for me, Len. And he shifts back to his much older-looking self that's sort of wired into the screens and the chair. You think this is just for show, just to make it seem like I am more knowing than I am, more spooky, huh? No.
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's also cool.
It's cool.
After everything that's turns out has happened, it's possible.
No. I'm one with the machine. You guys must have noticed the wall over there. It only has 4 screens for a lot of the loops.
Yes.
Yes.
I can see.
Because I wasn't with you most of the time.
But what I am saying is, you have you're in the machine. You control it, and you know what's going on. the Elephants must have some knowledge of the machine and understand what's going on because they're tracking us.
They're not exactly tracking everything. Like you saw in Buttercup's lair,
Yes.
the Deus metrics there, small changes are fine. They are not immediately noticeable. They didn't trigger the loops that you saw, but bigger changes did. Yeah.
Yes. I saw that.
I've been having to subtly manipulate things, like getting you guys to the right places, creating backdoor shortcuts out of the maze, Dion. Small things, creating small little explosive buttons for you to press, Glack. Showing you and leaving breadcrumbs behind in disparity. Giving you a glimpse into pizzazz, giving you a glimpse into where they had you. That was all me.
I guess as much.
Small crumbs that I could change without being noticed by them. I could tiptoe through the webs of the system because I am the system. I am basically a line of code right now. This form you are talking to, this is just a data-based projection of the original Junkrat. Sorry to say, but this isn't actually him. I mean, it's all that's left, but it's not the guy you knew. Sorry.
I want to try pull one more thread then. You've seen that memory where he appeared in?
Who appeared?
Leon. You will have seen what we went through with me diving through everyone's head, which
I saw that.
Now
I never saw Leon.
Really?
I tried to, but he was shielded from me. I couldn't see him. I physically couldn't see him.
Does that not give you an inkling that he may be some outside source? Not part of your network?
But I am the network.
Yes, and it's something from outside the network.
But if he's in the machine, I should be able to see him. I'm not just a piece of the puzzle. I am...
Like you said, there may be a back door. You yourself have said you haven't got full access to the firewall.
I want to pull at that more. See if we can get you in there and see if you can trace...
Trace where this Leon is?
Yes. See if he is an ally.
It would be difficult. If it's truly outside of the system, I would need to... But you've seen him, and you've interacted with him?
Yes.
He helped us.
And we feel like we know him.
And he owes me money.
Yes. More importantly.
Or you might think he does. But this could work. And very quickly, the tavern sort of melts away, and you're back in the black room with the zeros and ones in green all flashing here and there and everywhere. The last mission thing will have to wait. If this is what we have to do, he turns his, mentally sort of turns his chair back towards the screens and grips the small balls on the arms of his armchair, and you watch as power seems to, almost like an electronic electromagnetic surge heads through the wires and up his arms, and you see it flash below his skin at various occasions, and you see his hands twitch. I need you guys to plug yourselves in as well. I can only do this if you guys are inside as well, but it will mean... No, Lanoir, I just need you. Come forward.
I step forward.
That wire there, and he points at one that ends in a sort of almost like a head, like a the colander sort of. As a kid, you would have wear a colander or a saucepan or something on your head. It looks a bit like that. Put that on your head and think of Leon. Think of your adventures together.
Okay. And I will put it on my head, and I'll assume the position that I take whenever I start casting dreams.
Yeah, so you sit cross-legged on the floor.
And no for anything,
and
Black, I'm not going
straining
in
and...
I mean, you look weird.
Black, I will not go into your dream again.
Oh, so kind.
As you sit there and sort of plant your hands on the ground, a strange effect occurs. All the wires and roots that come out of Junkrat's chair begin to sort of morph into those of like a tree root rather. And you see him close his eyes and just sort of look back and forth like he's having rapid eye movement dreams. And you all can see now his subconscious displayed on the screens. Gone are your death scenes, which pizzazz, there were plenty of yours up there. Although Lanoir seemed to have by far and away the most. Interesting. more even than Dion. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? You see Lanoir walking through the woods of his dreams with Junkrat, and they're approaching once more this sort of scene of Junkrat, flashes of gold and red off in the distance, which you recognize as being back in that forest that you first encountered Leon. And he begins he keeps on floating through the trees, following you who are properly running through the trees, and you are standing on the edge of this clearing, watching Leon fight off about 25 or 30 draconic-looking spirits, clearly summoned by Junkrat. Is that the guy?
Yes. Why did you summon spirits at him?
This wasn't me. This is a part of my subconscious. Clearly, he's trying to invade my subconscious, so my subconscious is defending itself. Yours would do the same.
That is fair enough, but then why is he getting into your subconscious?
I don't have all the answers, Landvor.
And wait, you say you're part of the machine, and he's trying to tap into your subconscious.
Why would he be doing that?
Wouldn't that be a small back door into this place? No way. If you are the network, what better way in than through something that the Illithids don't control?
Interesting. He pulls out a wand, which you recognize as his old wand of web, although it looks 100 years older, and he points it at Leon. Grab him. We need him.
Okay.
Need to go into his mind and see where he is, where he's located.
Very well.
It's going to roll for Leon. You know what? I'm just going to say it happens. Yeah. Eventually, after a bit, he succumbs to the dragon spirits, and you rush forward. What is it you're trying to do here? Just sort of enter his dreamscape like you did with your allies a few episodes ago?
Yeah, I'm gonna invade.
Let's hope he's better dressed.
Mm.
I'm essentially gonna try and do what I did for the rest of them and see if I can trace back
Okay.
a memory to see if he has a memory link to us, or a memory link to anything in Brightside Towers or anything that could give us a inkling of who or what he is.
Okay.
Whilst watching the screens, Black, Dion, and Junkrat have noticed that somewhere Pizzazz has gotten a bowl of popcorn.
Yeah, you would have done. Let me see. So I'm going to need a spellcasting check contested by, it would be a charisma save from Leon. So let me just bring up Leon's stat sheet here.
So
That was a wisdom save.
Well, he's got +5, so 17.
So am I rolling my spell attack modifier?
It's a spell. It's a spell casting check, so it's your wisdom check. 17 to beat. What did I say? Charisma save?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Leon's mind is too strong at this moment. So it takes a minute or so. Is anyone, any of you guys on the outside helping in some way? How are you going about helping? Anything you can do?
Pizzazz doesn't know that much about the like the Dreamweave.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much he could do. He just sat there eating popcorn.
And it's entirely an option, yeah.
Black has stolen some of Pizzazz's popcorn and crunched up some fried chicken skin over it. So it's salty and sweet.
I like it. And Dion, how are you helping?
Pizzazz looks in his pocket and finds some chicken salt somewhere.
Oh, fantastic. I have to have a look at that.
And sprinkles it on the popcorn.
Leon, Dion rather, anything you're doing at all? Or are you just
waiting
observing
to see
as well?
what
All right,
comes
okay.
out of it all.
Yeah, so we'll give it one more spell
Stealing,
casting
popcorn.
check. Yeah, so while the three fucking three
Stooges.
the three stooges are out in, I say, the real world. They're in Junkrat's realm, if you like, eating popcorn and chicken. You guys are fighting. You guys are fighting for your lives in the dream world.
Oh, we have done something.
Oh,
yeah, drawn a little mustache on Junkrat.
Oh, actually, as you go to attempt to draw on him, your hand passes right through him. He is a data-based projection.
For God's sake, I'll do Lanoir then.
I was about to say do land instead.
Lanoir you can do because he's an actual thing in this world. Well, Lanoir, make one more attempt, and I'm afraid if this fails, we'll just use the same DC.
Can you cast guidance on yourself?
Was I doing a check or was I using a save?
No, it's a spellcasting check. He is saving against you.
Okay.
You could guide yourself, yeah.
I think I've got guidance.
I don't think I've got anything that'd be able to help you.
Yeah, I've got guidance.
Yeah, Junkrat actually can cast guidance on you. He's going to use the help action since no one else is. So roll it with advantage.
We don't know how to help.
We're helping in our own way.
We don't know how to help, so how would we?
Yeah, you're watching.
And what was it, a D4?
Yeah.
For guidance, yeah. Ooh, nice.
19.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? He can fail this. which is lucky you rolled a 4, so he needs a 4 or under in order for you to succeed. Charisma save. But oof. Yeah, no, he is a paladin, and his force of will compels him to not give away your secrets. I will say, however, as you're thrown backwards out of this memory, if you could make me a wisdom saving throw, please, as he sort of lashes out at you. Because this will give you something. Yes, so you are able to remember something. As he lashes out of you, you get a sudden flash, like when Frodo touches the ring and he sees a flash of the Eye of Sauron. You do see a flash of an enormous purplish-looking brain with tendrils stretching out across Sigil. And you see vaguely Leon inside a tank waking up from it and charging at the brain. That is what you get. There you go. You didn't locate him, but you do get that flash. And Junkrat looks like he's just been electrocuted. He recoils. He looks around. How did you guys... Oh, yeah, of course. You can imagine anything in here. Bill, I'm impressed. I'm impressed you managed to. Huh. Oh, also, you should probably... Landlord, you're so silly. You grew a mustache?
I knew I felt someone around me.
Pizzazz points at Dion.
I mean, I can't believe Dion did it. Shocking.
I can. It's 'cause he died so many times, it warped his mind.
I don't care about
That's
that
true.
right now. That's not important.
Yeah, sorry. I've never seen that guy before.
Yes, but there
I've
was
never seen him.
There was something just before I got kicked out. A large purple brain. Ring a bell to you?
It's actually, if you all want to make either history or religion checks before Junkrat says it, see if any of you know. Oh dear, yes. Oh, look at that. Oh, Dion, is your favorite enemy aberrations by any chance?
I do believe one of them is. I'll just double check.
There we go. So you actually double your proficiency. So you rolled a 29. So there you go. You know exactly what that is. And Glack and Pizzazz, you vaguely know what it is. It sounds like an elder. So as you're aware, the elder beings, or eldritch beings as they're sometimes known, along with the primordials and the gods, all fought in the Primords, along with the Arcanites. Dion, a brain, that, and given the fact that you've been talking about illithids and mind flayers this whole time, you know what that is. That is elder control. And the fact that that Lanwar is even mentioning it causes your spine to give a little shiver. You've never fought anything as big as you fought an avatar of a god that Brightside created, but never a proper elder creature. It's in the same sort of power level as Elder Silk, and on the same power level as an actual god.
Junkrat,
So-
I've got an idea.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we do that with me?
The what?
What you just did with Lan?
Maybe if we keep doing it, it might fry the system, and you might not be able to get home.
That's fine. I've got an idea. It should hopefully work.
All right. What do you want to try?
I'm going to try to dominate him.
Dominate who?
Leon.
Yes.
Leon. I can't access him. That's the thing.
He
We could only glimpse him.
He might,
Yeah.
Pizzazz might be able to glimpse him too.
But he can't walk through dreams like you can. He can't walk through
But
things.
I'm here. I can put him into
Did
the
you
dream.
not see what I did in my dream in my workshop? I would say I controlled that pretty well.
Okay.
I've pulled us all
Well,
into
let's.
multiple layers of each other's dreams. Something that I've never done before. I think drawing my friend into his own memory and dream is not going to be...
Relatively easily.
Yes. I have...
Well,
I still have the image of him, because he was there too. That last flash I had.
So, out of character,
yeah.
dominate monster.
Yeah.
It specifies you attempt to beguile a creature. Technically, Leon is a creature.
Yeah.
Humanoid?
No, it would work.
It would work.
It's of a higher level than dominate person. Dominate
Mhm.
monster works on everyone. It's an 8th level spell.
Mhm.
Phew. Yeah, if I would say if you can see him, you can attempt to use it in some sort of way to command whatever fragment of his will that's in the machine to tell you where he is. I would give it that, but
I mean,
because it's
if,
such a thready
what
way
if
of using it,
Yes.
what if Lan came in with me?
I can't see how that would help.
Because if I can dominate him and charm him, he would have.
Access.
It would essentially give him disadvantage, wouldn't it?
You
Telepathic
can't
link
command
from
someone to
arrow.
fail a saving throw, I believe. It seems kind of meta. I'll allow you to try it. So
Okay.
you're heading in using Lanmore using a dream to sort of manipulate, and Junkrat using his systems. He does say, "I can only do this so many times.
That's understandable.
I'm running low on power. I can give you maybe. Hold on. Let me just roll for it. 6 seconds. I can give you maybe 6 seconds of power, but the rest I need for the final mission. Finding this guy is not the top priority. Stopping Elder Control is. This is their final goal, to bring Elder Control to Sigil so that they can spread out and control everything. One guy is not going to change that. You guys need to be out there, and I need enough power to get you out."
But if he's as
It's
strong
fine
as us, then he will be an asset.
All right. I'll try. And he sort of grips the sort of Mox of Balhoun style balls on the end of his chair, and you watch as begins powering up, and you suddenly see a blast as tendrils of copper piping and tendrils of wiring and also tree roots extend around you and around your head, and sort of you open your eyes and you're suddenly inside that realm that Junkrat and Lan just left.
Yep.
And Junkrat is with you. He's struggling to hold back. The world is pretty much collapsing at this point. The edges of it are flashing blue and red. Roll your. What is your spell? It's a.
It is a wisdom save he needs to make.
Can't be 18 though.
No, that should
Must be higher.
It should be 22. I don't know why it's showing as 18 there.
22. Is there any reason he has disadvantage?
Nope.
Right. If you like, Junkrat could cast Bane on him.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. I believe it's a...
Actually, I think it's based on the Staff of the Magi's DC.
All right. Go for it.
18. Is that including the Bane?
True. -1 to 21.
I mean, that would fail my DC, but not the staff's.
So you're not casting it by yourself at all?
No, I don't have that prepared. It would be through the staff. Well, at least I think it's the staff's DC. Hang on, let me double check with the actual item.
I think the way we ruled that was because it was Kwalish's staff, you essentially used it as your focus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it must be your DC then. You know what? For fun, I'm going to say it is your DC. That way you get to control Leon for a round. So suddenly, all the shadows, all the draconic sort of spirits that are attacking Leon and he's defending against, suddenly his limbs stiffen up and they all just swarm him. And suddenly he's engulfed in this black smoke and he is carried directly towards you, and you're now sort of standing face to face as his limbs are by his side, and you're sort of looking into these eyes, which are, I guess, mirrored glass, and looking back at you.
Okay. And
you're able to touch his forehead, and what is it you command in this one round that you have?
I've got a telepathic link.
Oh dear.
Would I essentially be able to scour his mind?
I will let you roll some kind of intelligence check.
Okay.
Roll an intelligence check as the world collapses around you and you just frantically try and scour everything you can and try and discern something. Amazing. A 25 is actually what you need.
That's a low roll as well.
I set a DC. I've set a very hard DC of 25. So luckily you do manage it, and you just you flick between memories, and you suddenly jump like you were jumping through the dreamscape before, but much quicker. And you're just suddenly flashing through rooms.
It looks like the have you ever done the speed reading challenges where you can read up to like 300 words per minute?
I have attempted it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's suddenly images flick before your eyes, like the turning of a page. You see a young Leon growing up. You see him coming to Brightside Towers. You see him adventuring. And as you flick forward, you see him inside an ooze matrix. You overshoot for just a second and you see this image that Lanwar saw of him rushing against a giant elder brain. And suddenly you see again the room in which he is being held. It is being held fairly, I'm not going to give you an exact sort of viewpoint on a map because I don't have the map in front of me, but he is being held much like yourselves. You sort of see a brief overview of the floor plan, and you recognize it as a floor plan of a Brightside Tower floor, a fairly high up floor given by the structuring of the walls. It's slightly narrower near the top, obviously, because more like an obelisk than a skyscraper.
Yeah.
But you see him in one of many offshoot sort of pod rooms. This one looks to be private, like a private sort of medical room. He's being attended to by a couple of his own personal mind flare doctors who are monitoring his vital signs. You see that sort of a blip on a map, and you're now fully aware with your intelligence sort of tracking abilities. If you were to see a map of that area again, you would see, you would know where he is in relation to you, because you know where you are as well. You can see multiple of these sort of ooze matrix pod rooms, and as you flash through the corridors, you see him being dragged. You see yourselves being dragged into another one of these pods. You can probably work out a route if you were to get out into the real world. And you realize all this as you're suddenly thrust back out of this vision, and Junkrat slumps in his chair, smoking slightly, and has this sort of really hacking sort of cough.
He's not a virus. He's real. A virus doesn't have memories of childhood.
That
I didn't
know.
know. I didn't know.
It's understandable that you didn't know, but he is definitely real. He's held in he's in Brightside Tower in a news matrix.
But we're all in Brightside Towers. That's where we are.
What?
That's where our bodies are.
What level are we on?
17, 18. One of the high ones.
So is he. He's
That's
on a
where
high
they're-
level.
Yeah, that's where they're holding us. So they must have plugged him into a separate matrix pod bay.
I was scouring his memories. Yeah, he saw us being plugged into matrices himself, and then he was. So I don't know what the Ithlids are doing with him, but they know he's there.
Maybe they're trying to... I don't know. My brain feels foggy right now.
Anyway, right, you said about getting us out of here.
Yeah. Sorry. I used up almost too much power doing that. There is a mission. You have to stop the Elithids from creating the portal. Stop them from finishing mine and Willow's work in creating cracks in the copper ring to other planes. You have to stop them, because if they bring elder control here, imagine a brain at the top of a Noid body. Imagine how the nerve endings move out and control the hands and the legs and everything else. Now imagine the planescape of Alterra with the copper ring at the center. Imagine a brain that can spread its tendrils, its nerve network out through the doors. This place is the city of doors. It can go anywhere. If Elder Control arrives here, it can go through, send its minions through any of the doors and control all the planes. It has the technology. Now, because of us. Because of me.
I think I understand. You know that I have the ability to transform and all that, so I understand the transformation and spreading of different nerve endings and things. It's
like a tree. Imagine it like a tree.
Yes.
Like that tree that we fought in Disparity, do you remember?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
don't know how something that twisted can exist.
Well, it doesn't anymore. We destroyed it. And then the Elithids used those memories to put us through.
Well, I'm about to put them through hell for doing this. I don't know what it's worth to you, but that record, it's yours now.
It's that's appreciated, Landbor. But I can't really use it now. I'm using the last of my energy, and you begin to see bits of him sort of flickering away, like the very edges of his being beginning to sort of flicker into ones and zeros. If you guys don't escape now and do this, then it will have all been for nothing. But me talking about it isn't going to help you. And he surges some of his energy through the chair again, and appearing behind you, out of thin air, out of the green zeros and ones, are two doors in black. They look familiar. They're like that dream that you had. There's a blue door and a red door. And you can choose to go through one of the doors.
Where do they go?
If you go through the blue door, you will wake up having looped again. The Elithids will... You'll be at peace. You'll be fine. You won't remember any of this. You'll be comfortable. You'll be back in Adventurer's Retreat, and everyone you know will be alive and well, and it will be comfortable and without fear and without want.
Landworth
It will be
stands
beautiful.
up and start striding for the red door.
Before you go,
I don't need to know. If that is
the
what
red-
this puts us back in the Matrix, I don't accept it. If the red one is what gets us out of here, that's all I need to know.
there is a catch. You all have to, it has to be unanimous. If even one of you goes back through the blue door, then everyone else's consciousnesses will be gone, scattered. Mine is already Freddy, but you can go through the red door and wake up, and it will be pain, and nothing will feel the same. You saw, Pizzazz and Glack, you all saw how Bragg was when he had to leave his ooze matrix behind, and he'd only been in it a couple of months. It was pain. It was alien. It wasn't... He'd been in there for so long, it didn't feel real. Only the ooze matrix felt real to him. That's what it will feel like for you guys.
And
It will, because you've been here for so long. Out there, it won't feel normal. That
It'll
is...
make us feel again.
It will make you feel again.
Right, Dion. And that's why I choose it. I don't want to lose my friends in a dream. If I can pull my friends out of this dream that they are trying to control, I will pull at it with everything I have.
And you have my oath bow.
Well, on the outside, we probably won't have any of our items.
Actually, that's not entirely accurate. In order for them to make a realistic neurological response, they put you into the matrices with all your equipment.
And there is your chance to be that powerful Lich outside this dream.
Actually, you can do it if you go through the blue door. If you go through the blue door, this story ends. You wake up in your bedroom and you believe and do whatever you want to believe and do. If you go through the red door, you stay outside that world and you can see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
But you can still become a Lich. It will just take longer.
Oh, yeah. But there's a choice between what is right and what is easy.
I don't like shortcuts.
And Glack,
Sometimes easy isn't always the best.
my friend, are you really going to be happy with dream versions of your great god? His gym? His secret water?
Of course I will be. It's the dream version.
Imagine how powerful Bragg is now.
Yes.
Is he more powerful than in my dreams? I don't think he is.
You don't
How
know
do you
that.
know?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Go through the blue door and imagine greater.
But how do you know that is greater?
How do I know it's not?
Well, you don't.
That's why it's an uncertain future.
My friend, are you going to be shown up by a brain? Or are you going to punch it in its...
You almost said face, didn't you, Landvor?
Cerebral
Yes.
cortex.
Yes, that's... Yes.
Yeah, Glack. How many people can say they punched a brain in the face? That's what you were saying, Landvor.
Yes. You're going to be pushed around by a brain.
I mean, aren't we all just being pushed around by brains?
Our own. But...
I mean, potentially. I mean, Pizzazz, you
At
can
least
dominate
we have-
people. How do we know you're not doing it now?
To be honest, that was my plan if he was going to go through the blue door.
No, it wouldn't have worked, Pizzazz. This choice has to be made by own Noid free will. That is the trap they left us in. They never figured. They always thought that at least one of us would go back. But my body, it's warm food now, so I can't go back.
Makes sense. Kobolds don't usually live that long.
Oh, we live to about 400. We just do stupid shit, like blow ourselves up.
11
Exhibit A. What's the Junkrat?
Hey, I sacrificed myself so you guys could escape.
There.
Don't
That's
put that
appreciated.
shit on me.
It
There.
reminds me of the Legend of Spurt.
There.
Oh yeah, I knew him.
There's
Really?
another
He
thing.
only lived for 11 days.
But they were a hard 11 days.
There's something as well. Your friend, Glack, Junkrat has given us an opportunity to go out and do something to beat this brain that tries to placate us with just happy memories or numerous deaths. I am fed up with dying in these dreams.
Are you happy to serve a fake god?
Yes, he's forcing you to follow him now as well. You can't.
You're not. You're no. If you stay here, you're no longer following Bragg. You're following
You'll
this
no
brain.
longer be a disciple of Bragg.
See, what none of you understand is that all gods are fake gods. They're only gods because you make them gods. That's how godhood works.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to get something straight. I am not me. The me I think I am is not the real me. The real me was kidnapped by some kind of squid Quasimodo, cloned over and over again, then piloted like some kind of kung fu clone drone to pierce the weave to let a big purple spreadable brain into this world.
Yes.
The real you's out there, though. And if you join back with him, you'll always have been. You'll retain all the memories you've ever received in the make. In a way, you'll be...
You.
Yeah, I guess.
You will be complete.
Well, let me ask you this, Junkrat. Which door is the right door? Red or blue?
The other's not on the left.
I can't, Dion. Shut up.
Think of it this way: out
I
there
can't.
is our hardware. In here is our software. Neither are complete without the other.
If
I do
I
not know
could...
what you mean.
Okay.
Okay,
Crap.
out there is the chicken. In here is the egg. Wouldn't you
If-
rather have chicken and eggs rather than just an egg?
You know what? You fucking sold me. Red door. Let's go.
You mean we
If
only...
I could go back, if I could go out and be in my body again, I think I would. But I can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
Is your
But
soul
you
sh-
don't have to make that choice.
My sister's most likely still out there. She can make you a body.
He grins at you as you say this. No thanks.
Your soul
There-
shard is out there,
Like I said to Lanvor once,
is it not?
like I said to Crack, there's only one me. Accept no imitations. I've had 100 years to make my peace with this. And he sits back and he just watches.
Well, a door for me, as I reach for the
Let's
handle.
go get those chicken and eggs.
Before you go, since you're all going through the same door, there will be... I can grant a moment. I'm going to overload the machine the second you step out and become yourselves again. And that'll give you a couple of seconds because... And he presses a few buttons on his chair. And you see a freeze frame sort of picture. This is all happening, by the way, in your subconscious within 1 second. All this conversation, all this talk. Out there, and he points at the screen, and you see about a half dozen mind flares out there, maybe more. The edges of the screen are slightly blurred. It's like a video. It's like a camera, like a security camera. Yeah.
And this is live.
This is paused live. Yeah. And you can see that they're currently all sort of working on you, running diagnostics. A couple of them look a little confused. One of you looks to have stopped breathing, and there are 5 tubes as well, by the way. And from this security camera angle, you can see in the 5th tube that none of them are crowded around. There is quite obviously a very long dead and long desiccated kobold body. Junkrat looks at it kind of wistfully.
Why would they keep the body there?
Oh, I fused the thing. I had to stick around. Didn't want them to have my body. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. If you could rescue my stuff, I'd appreciate it. Or at the very least, my dragon. He knows the way home.
Even though you're not really keen on it, once I find Tink, I will be getting her to build you a new body.
I appreciate that.
Just in case you ever decide to leave the Matrix.
I have become one with it now. There is no me without it.
Doesn't mean that you won't be able to be in a new host.
That's true. Just because you became one of it doesn't mean you can't separate in another 100 years.
Maybe. But I will overload the systems and destroy this place, and likely myself. It'll give you a surprise on them. It'll give you the drop on them. And before you go, I have gifts, powers I can bestow, if you like.
Like what?
Spells, power that is lost, that would require quests to go and locate. Out of world, a 9th level spell for pizzazz, and or land war. That is an option, or 3 levels of warlock, ghost in the machine, which is technically what Junkrat is. And he offers extra spells, the ability to hack, essentially. Just little upgrades here and there. It will essentially take you to 20th level characters either way. Or a 9th level spell. That's up to you. I can give you boons. Oh yeah, or epic boons. Type situation. That sort of thing. You know what I mean. Epic powers.
I'm thinking, because if it's a 9th level spell, would gate work?
No.
No.
Not on Sigil, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Otherwise, the Elithids would just cast it to open doors themselves, you know? Essentially, Junkrat discovered Gate when he did the crack in the wall. That was him discovering Gate in Alterra.
Right.
If you like. Yeah, we'll discuss that after the session, exactly what the sort of gifts, the upgrades, or what have you will be. I think that's it, unless anyone wants to sort of say anything to Junkrat before he goes. Before you go.
Junkrat, you will be back one day to claim that CD. I'm sure of it.
Me too, Lan.
You're shit, but it's been an honor to know you.
And you get a big smile from Landwar as he reaches for the door. Are we ready?
Depending on how, because if we can get the 9th level, or if I can get the 9th level spell now,
all pizzazz.
That would change my plan as we step out.
All right, come here. You scuttle across to him, and he channels about 95% of his power into the side of his chair, and popping out of the armrest are like a couple of little sort of spikes. One of them looks like a hardwire sort of memory device that has a big dragon on the front of it. He himself is almost completely vanished now. There's just an eye and a bit of hand left in the chair. These four are segments of power. You can take those into yourselves and adapt. The bit that he points to for you, you can easily sort of plug into is a jewel that you can pop onto the front of your
put into my staff, essentially.
Yeah, into your staff, essentially. He draws your attention to the fifth one, the one that looks like a USB stick. Plug this into their main computer, and like a virus, I can infect them and blow it up from the inside.
Okay.
In this way, you can take me with you. You're not get rid of me that easily.
Of course not.
Yeah, so there's one for each of you, and there's a little Junkrat USB stick, essentially. And you watch as you take the five of them out of the machine, stow them away. He nods at you. Bye, friends.
For now.
See you later, you little shit.
And he grins, and then the digital copy of him that was in the chair fades away.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'll see him in Kobold Heaven soon enough. Right.
But you have Tamagotchi Junkrat in tow.
Cool.
Essentially.
Let's go through the red door and punch some squids.
So, yep. I will let you know what my plan is as we step through the door.
And in fact, as you do step through the door, suddenly there is a flash of greenish energy, a flash of white light, and then Glack, you see that same sort of blue and red 3D effect as you just break through the door and begin punching some mind flayers and whatnot. Hold on. That was meant to be more epic. There we go.
Okay. As soon as I wake up, I'm going to cast Time Stop.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end it for the week.
Short one today, then.
Yeah. Thank you all for being party to this. Thank you all at home for watching, for listening. I've been James. These guys have been amazing. You've all been amazing. Until next time, we're going to be taking next week off, but then we will be back with a couple of special guests, a couple of special surprises the following week and the week after, and that should end the campaign for us. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. See you later. See you on the other side of the Matrix.
Is it Tuesday yet?
Chase the rabbit. Chase the white rabbit. There you go. Red pill, blue pill. Chase the white rabbit. Da, 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 da.